Hi, I'm Allison Davis coming to you live from GBTA Broadcast Studio at GBTA Convention 2019 Chicago. I'm here this afternoon with David Holyoke from Airbnb for Work. David, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. It's
Likewise.
a pleasure to have Airbnb for Work back on the expo floor and at the convention. We're thrilled to have you.
Yeah, it's great. Favorite time of the year, so it's great to be here.
Favorite and most exhausting.
Yes, there's a lot of work that
Both,
goes into it.
hand
I
in
think
hand.
we're already planning for next year. So,
Well, that's
yeah.
great. We love to hear that. So, David, the future of how and where we all work seems to be evolving, and this seems to be something that Airbnb for Work is pretty passionate about. So, can we talk a little bit about why the future of work is so important for the corporate travel industry, and why it's something that travel buyers should be paying attention to?
Yeah, I think when you think about the future of work, it's all about employee engagement and retention. And I think it's not new. It's just being defined, right? I think people have always cared about the organization they work for, what their mission is, what their culture is, how they fit into that, how they actually belong. And these are just things that really resonate to us at Airbnb, and obviously things that through our product and our community, how we want to bring out and actually help organizations be a bit an extension of their culture. So.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about the increasing importance of employee well-being. It's a hot topic right now. How do you see this translating to business travelers and corporate travel programs?
Yeah, I think it's impacting travel in a lot of ways. One, our own data and what we see from user behavior and early adopters and first-time business travelers within our product is they increasingly are taking longer trips. It's not necessarily that work is the longer portion of it, but they're adding days on before or after. Bleisure has just really become a little more mainstream.
That buzzword we all love.
Absolutely. Still waiting for a new definition, but in that area. And so as a buyer or as an organization, you have to think about the controls and compliance that you put around that. But you also have to recognize that business travel can take an emotional toll, a toll on one's well-being. And how do you allow people to have those moments to recharge, take advantage of a little downtime where they actually have that work time? And we think, from our standpoint, we're a great product and great solution for that. A lot of times we're getting people out of central business districts so they can actually experience the place that they're working, a better understanding of the community that they're coming into and doing work in. But also when that 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock hour comes around, they actually have a little bit of downtime to kind of reinvest in themselves as well.
Absolutely. How do you think we as an industry need to evolve to account for this? I know that you're doing some great things at Airbnb for Work, but as the industry as a whole, how do we need to evolve to account for this increasing importance on employee well-being?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of great innovation, I would say, that's going on right now around gamification, where people are being incentivized to do the right behaviors for an organization, but then are actually getting some earn back for themselves to then be able to reinvest. I think I always say, like, when people say, oh, you're having a work trip, it's so fun, but I don't think people realize the hours that people put in.
Absolutely,
right?
it's tough.
Yeah,
it's exhausting. We're living it right now.
Yeah, absolutely, a lot longer. I tell my wife all the time, this is not, this is not a
is
fun
not a
trip.
vacation.
Right. There's a lot of work here, and you need that kind of recharge. So giving people the abilities to kind of, earn, reinvest in themselves, whether it's on that trip and other areas, and understanding that, and just making sure that your overall program allows for that degree of flexibility. Bringing other opportunities in. How can you make, when there is work trip teams traveling together, how can you bring experience into a team building, team bonding, to actually get more out of that trip than maybe just the business at hand? So.
We need to take care of our travelers so they can take care of their business and our companies and be successful.
Yeah, the cost to replace an employee, I think estimates outside what I've seen from industry, about 3 times somebody's annual salary.
Wow.
So do you really want people to actually walk out that door? No, right? So put that additional investment in them to keep them engaged, motivated, so you don't have to bring constantly new people in that revolving door. The attrition isn't where it needs to be. You're really building those authentic connections in the workplace. Happier, more productive employees, I'm pretty sure, I don't have the data in front of me, but I'm sure that's probably good for our organization's bottom line.
People.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, David, thank you so much again for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you here. Once again, I'm Allison Davis coming to you live from GBTA Broadcast Studio in Chicago. Thank you for joining us.